Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm back with an interesting item. It is a robot that draws. Not only that, but can supposedly teach you to draw as well. In addition, I've got a couple of other items related to drawing and artwork. But let's start off with the star of the show, the robot artist. Let's take a look at this smart drawing robot. I paid $56.99 on Amazon for this, but it was on sale. Usually it runs between 80 and 100. Currently has a 5-star rating among only 32 reviews. Got some markers. A friendly reminder. There's the robot itself. Kind of looks like a minion, huh? Instructions, always good. A deck of cards. That looks like they pin, maybe. We're still going. It's like some maybe arms for the robot. USB-C cable. A much thicker deck of cards. Not sure what that is. This might be important too. All right, so that's everything. That's the big mess right there. But they claim it is an educational toy that's an interactive drawing machine. Helps children complete a drawing on their own, boosting confidence and training fine motor skills. They say it can be used independently or with a parent. Includes 150 cards, which I'm assuming is this. 12 markers right here. 5 drawing pins. Would that be this? I don't know. A reusable drawing board, USB-C cable. Everything you need is in the box. Now, people online like this. They say it's entertaining, educational, easy to use and set up. Several people said it exceeded their expectations. Now, there weren't that many critical reviews of this, which makes me skeptical, but I'm going to read these over and then get started. All right, I have read over the instructions. I have charged this up. I went through all the Amazon comments and all the Amazon videos. I think I'm about ready. First thing I'm supposed to do is connect the arms. And these are just magnetic. They just kind of snap into place. Easy enough. Now they say switch on the robot, and there is a power button right there.
Hello, my name is Mao Liang. It's nice to meet you. I'm good at drawing. Let's learn to draw together.
If you couldn't understand that, according to the instructions, that was supposed to say, I am little Mao Liang, the best at drawing. Kid, nice to meet you. Come and learn to draw with me. I don't think that's what was said, but that's what it's supposed to say. But let's keep going. Now they say you can use their included pad here, but you can use any paper. So I'm just gonna use some regular paper here. The instructions say installation of brushes. I think they mean these pens here. So we have one of these pens. You just stick it right in this hole right here, and it almost touches the paper. You can see it's almost touching the paper right there. Next thing we're supposed to do is pick a card. There's a slot here where you're supposed to be able to stick the card in, but the instructions say to hold the card in front of this eye right here. So I guess I'll skip the slot for now. The first card on the stack is a strawberry, so let's do that. They say you have to hold it this way facing the camera, and it has to be point blank.
Strawberry. My dear friend, you can choose to draw or repeat it.
So now that they scan the strawberry, all we have to do is press this button. It should start going. Here we go.
Let's start drawing.
Oh, it's drawing. We're drawing. That music's rough. I gotta turn this off. Let me see. Whew, why? Now this is cool. This is really cool watching this draw this, but that music was kind of rough. Not for me. But I mean, it's making pretty quick work of this strawberry so far. Very cool. Look at that. I mean, what I'm seeing so far looks accurate to this photo here. Now, the listing said you have everything you need in the box, including a way to color them in. So I give them credit for that. But right now it's just kind of drawing all the different seeds in there. So I'm gonna wait for that and take a look at our final creation. All right, it is done. Let's take a closer look here. I mean, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. And it was kind of fun to watch it as well. I mean, they say it's for ages 3 to 8. I was fascinated by it myself. So I think 3 to 8 could be extended a little bit, about 50 extra years. Let's do some more drawing now. Now they have all these cards here, like tons of them. Like I think that's 150 of them. Tons of cards. But I was looking through there and I want to do the mantis next. Love my praying mantises. Manti? Is it not praying manti? No. But I'm gonna set this aside and color this in while the next one's drawing. Let's get a fresh piece of paper here.
Mantis.
I like how it said mantis. Let's get started here. Press the button.
Let's start drawing.
That music. I'm so glad you can turn that off. Oh, it didn't turn off. I mean, I'm sure that some kids don't like that music, but I'm not really going to want to listen to that the whole time. But it's off and running, so I'm going to see how this looks. I'll speed things up so we can get through this one and several others. So I'm going to look over these instructions for anything else I need to test while this waits. And I might even start coloring in my strawberry while I'm waiting. So that's next.
All
right, I'm still coloring my strawberry, but the praying mantis is done. Looking pretty good. I think we can draw on the same sheet of paper here. Let's try that next. One minor complaint I have is that if you turn the audio off, you won't get any cues when you turn the entire unit off. You can't even really tell. So you have to turn the audio back on when you want to turn it off to make sure it's off. Minor complaint, but something worth mentioning. But since I've done so many egg reviews over the years, I thought this might be good for the next one. Let's do it. I have a praying mantis and an egg right next to each other. All right, I'm going to try this slot here and see if that works. Well, it didn't work that way. I'm not sure which way to put it in, if it works at all. I'm not sure this slot works, but let me just do it this way.
Poached egg.
Poached egg. Let's hit the button. I'll continue coloring. The egg is a little bit underwhelming, but that's pretty much what they show. I want to try something else now. Get another piece of paper here. I'm still coloring, by the way. I'm almost done with my strawberry. I just have the stem and the seeds to do. But the instructions say you can use any pen with a diameter of less than 10 millimeters. So apparently if a pen can fit in here, it can be used. They don't say what kind of pen, so what if I try to put a ballpoint pen in there? Will that work? I can't put the cap on. I mean, I guess I could do it like that. I'll do it like that, I don't care. I'm gonna randomly pick a card out of here. Pick a card, any card. Get in the tank, we're going military style, that's right. Tank. Here we go, let's see if this works. Oh, with a ballpoint pen, nothing's happening. It's not pressing down hard enough to get anything going on. And they said any pen, but this one ain't working. The other thing I noticed also, if you turn the volume off when you go to scan a new card, you also don't hear that as well. So you don't even know if it's scanned or not. So you kind of have to turn the sound back on before you want to do anything else, or you won't hear it. Let's pick a different one. We'll do a sunflower.
Sunflower.
The voice when they read the card sounds so tired. Sunflower. But we should be ready for a sunflower right now. All right, here's the sunflower, looking pretty good. Now I did finish coloring my strawberry. What do you guys think? Not too bad, huh? I want to try one more thing here now. They say that you can use this to teach kids how to draw. So I'm going to actually try to copy what it's doing and copy all the strokes it's making and make my own drawing. All right, it's time for Freakin' Review's art lesson. That's right. I'm going to see if it can actually teach me to draw this frog right here. Now, one nice thing about it is in the back of the card, it actually shows the steps you're going to have to take to draw it. So you can kind of look that over first. So we have the eyes, the body, the legs, and then we color it in. But now let's get started. I'm gonna let them use their marker, but I'm gonna use a Sharpie and make a little bit bigger version of it. That's the plan at least. Time to scan our frog. All right, they're not drawing the order of the card. Oh, that music is brutal. Oh no, I'm not doing that great. I'm not sure mine's gonna be better. But it didn't do the order the card showed. I mean, so far so good, I guess, right? It's strange just going back and forth from leg to leg like that. I'm not really sure why. All right, I have thoughts about this. Number one, it did not go in this order. I was a little bit thrown off by that. Number two, you can see here the eyes don't have that line behind it, but what about that line right there? And how's mine look? I don't know, mine didn't look so great, but it's not terrible. It's probably better than I would have done otherwise. That line behind the eye is gonna bother me, but otherwise it's pretty cool. I mean, I think it works. I mean, it maybe isn't perfect, but I can see this keeping kids occupied for a long time. Great Christmas gift, birthday gift. It's something you can do with your kids, so I'm a fan of this one. The only issue I have is when you turn the sound off, you get no other notifications whatsoever, which is kind of confusing. But other than that, I think this does work as advertised. Next up, now we've got all of our line drawings here. It's time to color them in. We may not want to use the markers that came with the robot artist, so maybe we want to use some interesting rainbow pencils. Let's take a look at these rainbow pencils. I paid $6.99 on Amazon. Currently has a 4.7 star rating among over 1,500 reviews and the illustrious Amazon's Choice title. It's a nice looking pencil. The tip is interesting. But they claim there's 12 rainbow pencils where each stroke reveals a symphony of captivating colors. That's their wording for it. Each pencil has 3 hues. They say they're sturdy, made from ebony wood, and also 0.2 inches in diameter. They say it spurs creativity. Gift box packaging, ideal for kids, teens, or budding artists. Now, a lot of people online who liked it, they said that they liked the inexpensive cost, the variety, and the colors. Someone said it feels creamy like butter, whatever that's supposed to mean for a pencil. Now, those who didn't like it, the main complaint I saw was that they said they break easily or they're difficult to sharpen. There's all of our pencils inside there, so I look forward to giving these a shot. I mean, at first glance, they seem pretty well made. The tips are interesting. They all look a little bit different, and they are all multicolored. This one looks very multicolored. Let me try this one first. I'm just gonna scribble on a page and see what we got. Oh, interesting. I'm seeing green and red and blue. Oh, that's kind of cool. That certainly is a rainbow effect. I'm also not twisting the pencil to get that effect. I'm just going back and forth. Pretty cool, actually. Certainly a very Eastery looking effect there. But I wanted to try some of these now. I've got all these laying around. Let's see how it works in a real world situation coloring in the strawberry. Here is the reddest pencil I have. And let's see what happens with this. Well, it doesn't look as red. Let me try a different one. That's more orange. Do I have a red? There's gotta be a red around here somewhere. Let me go back to this one. Maybe I just had the wrong angle here. You don't really have much control over what color you're going to see. It just kind of goes in whatever order it wants. Next, I got to find something with some green in it. Where's some green? Not a lot of green here represented. I'm going to have to get creative with this stem, I guess. I'll just do a really rainbow looking one. There's some, well, there's a lot of colors in that one. Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting. It certainly, I'm not sure it really is good for something like this. I'm going to do something else here. Let's just try a big F. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I mean, let me keep going. I'm gonna do a similar one. All right, this is kind of light because I just want to do an outline. This is my really bad version of my F2 logo. Let's see how that looks when I fill it in. I'm gonna press much harder this time and see what happens. I'm seeing orange, I'm seeing brown, and I'm seeing yellow. So it's kind of a thematic color here. Not my best work, but it's something. What if I just write some text on here? I'm gonna try to press hard so we can see it. Today is the some song lyrics there for you. I'm sure some of you recognize those lyrics. I'm gonna try a few more of these. I'm just gonna do a little patch of each one. That one didn't change too much. That one has a little bit of variation. This one has a lot of variation to it. All right, there's our 12 colors. They look pretty good. They're very vibrant when you press hard. When you don't press hard, obviously not so much, but for colored pencils, they're actually pretty vibrant. And also, I like the variation in colors. They also stick a lot of light colors together, so you get kind of this pleasing gradient in some cases. So, I don't know, kind of cool. Let me try one more thing. Let me try this terrible frog that I did. I'm gonna press much harder this time and see what we get. Did I mention that I'm not an artist? Okay, good. I'm gonna change pencils for some of these other parts here. I'm not sticking to their color palette, I'm using my own. I'm not even sure what these are supposed to be, but it looks like he's got an infection of some sort. Might need to get some frog antibiotics. You know, if I color this in like this, it looks like he's wearing glasses instead. Maybe I should do that. A frog wearing glasses. And that's my final creation. What do you guys think? Beautiful, huh? Maybe not. Some people online said they had a problem sharpening these. Now, the only sharpener I have here is the robot sharpener. Robot artist meet robot sharpener. You guys can hang out together. But let's see if my robot sharpener will actually do anything with this. Here we go. This one looks kind of dull-ish. Wow, that's almost too sharp. I don't know about every sharpener, but it does work with mine, so that's good to know. All right, so I'd say these pretty much worked as I expected them to. They're not gonna be something you use if you wanna make a realistic drawing, but just for having some fun, noodling around, they do create some pretty interesting color patterns. Some people said they were kind of brittle and broke easily. I did not find that to be the case, but as with all things Amazon, your mileage will vary. And finally, for the youngest of the budding artists out there, they may not even know how to hold the pencil properly, so that's where this comes in. This is supposedly a grip corrector. In this unassuming package is a pack of 2 grip correctors. I paid $1.73 for this on Temu. We have pink and blue for boy and girl, I guess. But they say that it's a handwriting practice aid to help train a proper grip for holding pencils or pens. Includes a place for all 5 fingers. Now, how's that gonna work? I'm gonna have to figure this out. I mean, it seems like it's gonna be really cramped. They also say it works well with most pencils or pens. So I'm gonna have to grab some pens and pencils and we'll get started. Let's give this a shot now, shall we? Now, taking a closer look at this, now this is obviously for children, so I'm gonna have to not complain too much about the size because it's kind of small for an adult hand, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyways. Now this teaches the dynamic tripod grip. Most people think that's the only real way to hold a pen or a pencil, but I never use that. I always use the quadrupod grip. I guess not really a good way to hold a pencil or a pen, but that's the way I've done it. This old dog ain't learning new tricks. This is the way I'm gonna be doing it. But let me see if I can actually train myself, at least temporarily, to do the tripod grip here. So we're gonna have it in our fingers like this. Thumb goes in here, index finger there, middle finger through that hole, and the other 2 in there, but that's kind of tight for me because this is for children's hands. Let me just try a couple different pens and pencils in here. So sticking a pen through the hole here is it can get a fit. Well, it's kind of a tight squeeze. That pen, I mean, I can make it fit, but that's a tight squeeze. Let's try a number 2 pencil now. If that doesn't fit, we're in trouble. Let's try it out. All right, no problem. All right, first you have to get it in the right spot, which I'm guessing is about right there. First 3 fingers go in there quite easily. These last 2 don't really want to do that. I might just kind of ignore these bottom 2 here. I think there's competitors out there that sell a version without this little uvula hanging down there. Because that goes on easily. These 2, not so much, but let's give it a shot and see how it writes. First test, the tripod grip. In fact, I'll write those words. Now my first thought is it's hard for me to change grips after all these years. It doesn't feel too bad, but let me just try a pencil without that and see what it compares. My old standard grip here. Test without the tripod grip. Well, I will say one thing, my handwriting didn't get any worse using a different grip. Let me try some more of this. Let's try another one here. Frank Burns eats worms. That's from MASH episode. Let's try without it. I mean, this is more comfortable to me because I'm more used to it. But on the other hand, I don't think that my writing has gotten worse. So if I was starting off from scratch, I'd probably even be better with the grip. All right, I think it does work. It does work. Let's try a few more pens and pencils in here though. How about my inkless pen here? I mean, it's a bit of work to get the pen or pencil in there. I think that, you know, if you're a parent or teacher, you could do it for a child, but I think children are going to struggle because that's kind of a lot of work. I have a mechanical pencil without even working there. I guess it does. Yeah, I kind of have to twist it in there. I have to like screw it in, but it does work. I do think these work. I think that's going to be very situational who uses these. My only issue is that pens and pencils are kind of hard to get in there. I think if you're relying on a child to use these, you're going to have to help them when they put a pen or pencil in there. Otherwise, I think they do kind of work. If your child's starting to learn how to write and you want them to use the proper grip, this might be something to consider. So in the end, I'm a fan of the robot artist. I geeked out just watching it myself, and it's supposed to be for ages 3 to 8. So I think a lot of kids will find this pretty interesting. Now the 2 bonus items, I think the grip corrector is pretty situational, but I think most people will like the rainbow pencils. But that's all I've got. If you've tried the robot artist or something like it, or one of these items, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.